Hey y'all, it's my favorite month of the year and I am back to tackle my TBR. I was in a bit of a reading slump, I guess you might say. For most of the summer, I was adjusting to a new job and a new schedule, and I just felt like everything was, just super busy, and summer's kind of a busy time anyway. So I had not read a whole lot for the majority of the summer. However, I feel like I've got my mojo back. I actually read a ton in August, which I'm going to share with you in a couple of days, but that really inspired me to sort of bring down my TBR a little bit. I do have several books here on my TBR that I don't actually know if I'm going to get to, but these are going to be some goals that I'm setting for the month. For starters, I want to get this off my lap because they're like all the way up here almost to my chin, and I can't hold them up and talk to you while they're like this. So let me move this over. Okay, that feels better. So for starters, I am doing like kind of a little mini challenge with myself that I'm calling Finish It Fall. I know September, technically not the very beginning of fall. Fall here in our part of the world doesn't start until the end of September. But to me, September 1st is kind of the unofficial start of fall. School is back in session. Hopefully we get a little bit cooler temperatures. The PSL is back at Starbucks. So it's fall, right? Anyway, I am calling this little mini project of mine Finish It Fall because I looked at my Goodreads the other day and I had 13 books that I had started at some point and just never finished. So I do, for the most part, intend to finish all of those, but sorry, there's this one hair that's, okay, there, let's try that. I think, intend to finish the majority of those, but they're just hanging out there. You know what I mean? So before I forget, because it's on my mind right now, I just looked at my Libby app on my phone, and there is one audiobook that I want to be sure to talk about. I have started A Gentleman in Moscow? I just looked at it. Oh my gosh. Phone's upside down. A Gentleman in Moscow bar. I can't talk. I'm so sorry. A Gentleman in Moscow by Amor Towles. I think that's how you say it. The audiobook is 18 hours long. It's not like super captivating me, but I've heard lots of people say that it's a really incredible book. So I do listen to it quite a bit while I'm working, but I find that I want something that's a little bit more action-packed, to keep my attention. So I'm 50% of the way through that audiobook. And what has happened is I've actually listened to a little bit over the last few months. Like I'll listen to it for a couple of days in a row, and then, I'll pick up another book, or another audiobook that I've been waiting for will come through, or something like that. And so I'll just let that loan expire and go back to the library. And then as I'm kind of perusing, so I might come across it and go, oh, I should really work on finishing this. And so I'll borrow it again for another 14 days, and maybe I'll listen to a little bit, maybe I won't. So that has basically been the way that it's been going for the last couple of months. I have now made it to 51% of the way through the audiobook. So I'm like basically just over 9 hours through. So I've got about 9 hours left. I would really like to go ahead and knock that one out. We are to the point now where it's catching up a little bit. The plot line, there's like more characters involved, and I do find myself more interested in the story. So I think I can knock that one out this week. Not this week. Probably not this week, but probably this month. So I didn't want to forget to talk about that one. So the first one on my Finish It Fall TBR is going to be A Gentleman in Moscow. Also, I should mention my husband and I are both getting over these weird like sinusy cold things. We all in this house have terrible allergies, and so I'm probably gonna have to take lots of sips of water because my throat is I've had like quite a bit of drainage and stuff. I know that's really gross, but I'm really trying to film some videos so I can, you know, post some videos, and this is the time when I get to do that. So next on my Finish It Fall TBR is going to be Before the Coffee Gets Cold. This one I did start in August, so this one hasn't been hanging out there for too long. I think I got this one for Christmas this past year, so like Christmas 2022, I believe. My in-laws, they do a big Christmas and everybody buys each other gifts, and that's lovely. And I think most people have gotten the hint because this year I got a ton of books that were on my TBR, so I love that and I'm so grateful for it. Before the Coffee Gets Cold is a series of short stories that all kind of blend together. I think there's 4 or 5, and I've made my way through most of them. I was reading this just the last few days of the month, and so I really only have just a short bit left in this one. So this one is going to be easy to knock out, but I did want to include it in this TBR because so far I've really enjoyed it. But again, it's one that I don't want just, you know, sort of hanging out there eternally on my Goodreads list saying, yes, I'm, you know, like 86% of the way through it. So Before the Coffee Gets Cold, the second book on my Finish It Fall TBR. The third book, this one I feel like is a really important book to finish. I would love to finish it this year. I started reading this. This is called The Only Plane in the Sky. It is an oral history of 9/11, and I started reading this on September 11th of last year, and it literally tells the story of so many of the victims of, excuse me, of 9/11, and it's a hard read. I am only 42 pages in, and the let's see, there's some book club material and, you know, like a conversation with the author, but this book is 489 pages. So I would love to finish it this month. I mean, basically that's like another 450 pages. So I will have to read quite a bit. It's essentially the entire book. I'm only 40 pages in, but again, one that I feel is really, really important. And I would really like to, go ahead and finish this one this month. So those two are both kind of heavy. Let's talk about something a bit lighter. This is The Soulmate Equation by Christina Lauren. Christina and Lauren are two authors, actually. They're a romance writing duo, and I have enjoyed several of their books, some of them a little bit more than others. But this is The Soulmate Equation. This is the precursor to The True Love Experiment, which I read, I think maybe it was in July, and I had picked this one up a couple months ago and I had never read it yet. So I read The True Love Experiment as a book of the month book, but I hadn't actually read the first book in that sort of like mini series, not series, what is that? Duology, I guess. Anyway, so I read part of this in maybe June or July. I think I am 74 pages in, and again, it's like 400 and something pages. So yeah, so hoping to finish this one off for Finish It Fall. Guys, I really need to give more credit to reviews sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, this is The Paris Apartment. This is by Lucy Foley. The first Lucy Foley that I ever read was The Guest List, and I read that as a Kindle book maybe a year or a year and a half ago, and everybody was talking about how phenomenal it was, but like all of the action happens in the last 40 pages. And I found the same thing. Like the it's all very vague, and there's like just bits and pieces of story through 300 and something pages of it, but the guest list did come together in that last 40 pages, and I was entertained, and okay, fine, it was good. Then I listened to Daisy Darker, and I felt like that one jumped the shark a little bit. It was fine, but that one was panned by lots of people. And yeah, I was like, okay, I can understand why people might enjoy that one, but then I can also understand why people might not enjoy it, very much at all. I was very much straight in the middle. So the Paris Apartment, I am on page 77. Again, see, I get like 40 or 70 pages in, and then I just jump to the next thing. I don't know why I keep doing that, but I really want to finish this one. I don't know, guys. There's no, I don't know. Like, I'm not in love with the story right now. I don't know. I'm just, lots of people hated this one. I'm not enjoying it so far. But again, I very rarely will DNF something. Often I'll set it aside and try to come back to it later. I might just not be in the right headspace for a book at that particular time. I do that actually a lot with thrillers, where I'll start them and then A, if they get too scary, B, if they get too gory or too gross or something like that, or or if I'm just not buying the plot of it, I'll set it to the side. I'm thinking, maybe I just need a different headspace, or it's maybe not what I'm in the mood for at that time. So I'll try it again at some other time. So this one, we're going to try it again. I don't really want to DNF it because I would like to go ahead and finish it. But I don't know. We'll see. I'm not loving it so far. It's fine. I'm just not loving it. All right. Oops. My ring light is going crazy, but we've got Badly Deeply, which is the Diaries of Alan Rickman. This, I was working on the prompt for the 52 Book Club, which I haven't talked about in a really long time, but there is a prompt in this year's challenge that is published posthumously. And so Alan Rickman, of course, our beloved Snape from Harry Potter, and lots of Sense and Sensibility, lots of other, just iconic roles and iconic films. And the bad guy in Die Hard, I can't remember his name, but anyway, so I literally started this book on January 1st. I'm about 300 pages in, I remember, because I think I'm on 314 or something, because I just looked at this yesterday. So, and there's 465 pages in it, I think. So I've only got about 150 pages left. I would really, really love to finish this one. The thing is, it very much reads like a diary or a day planner. It's just Monday, we went here. We went to dinner. This is where we ate. This is what I had for dinner. These are the people that were there. These are the topics that we discussed. It very much reads like a day planner, which is what it is. It's literally his day planner. And so you get a little bit of the behind the scenes and kind of the dirt on things, the tea, but it's not a fluid story for the most part. And so the good thing about that is I have picked it up, read a few pages, and then put it back down again several times throughout this year. So that's kind of what I've been doing and how I've been tackling this one. But again, I've only got about 150 pages left, and I would really, really love to finish it this month and check another one off of my TBR. I'm really, really close to finishing the 52 Book Club Challenge also, by the way, so I would love to inch just a little bit further forward in completing that challenge. Speaking of completing challenges, the book of the month, base challenge, the first challenge for the year, this year is to complete 15 books. And a lot of people were really surprised by that. In the last couple of years, it's been finish 12 books to get the first level of the challenge completed. And it's not the biggest of deals if you finish, I think you get like a little plushie or something like that is the prize. But listen, if you put a challenge in front of me, I'm going to want to finish it. You know what I mean? Like I'm going to want to accomplish that challenge. So right now, I'm at just the base level of the challenge, which is to finish 15 books. They can be books that you bought from Book of the Month in the previous year or the current year. So basically anything from 22 or 23 that you read and rate through the app counts toward this challenge. So right now I have finished 12 books that I've ordered either last year or this year. And so I have 3 more left to accomplish the base, like the basic level of the challenge. So I want to finish 3 more Book of the Month books to finish this challenge, at least like that level of it. One of them is an older book. One of them, or 2 of them rather, are books that I've just recently ordered. So the one that's the older book is The Cartographers. This is by Peng Shepherd. I did order this one, as I said, last year. This was a book from March of 2022. And I think kind of the idea of it is that there's like a father and a daughter, and the father passes away or something, and like they're both cartographers, and so there's like a hidden meaning in the maps that her father was creating or something like that. I can't really remember. But I saw something the other day. It was like a reel or something that said like, if you like the dark academia genre, you should read The Cartographers. Ergo, I'm reading The Cartographers, or I hope to read The Cartographers. That checks off 2 things. A, it keeps me kind of in that dark academia vibe, and also it will check off a book for this challenge. So there we go. First one to complete the Book of the Month challenge is The Cartographers. The next 2 books, excuse me, stay on your side. The next 2 books are actually both from, I think, my August box. So those 2 are going to be The Bookbinder by Pip Williams and The Connollys of County Down by Tracy Lang. Tracy Lang also wrote We Are the Brennans, which was a fantastic story that I really, really loved. I would call it like a contemporary fiction or like a family drama. The thing is, like, these are short books. See, do you see how small those are? I don't really know. I mean, I haven't looked. 270 pages. Okay, 270 pages. I should be able to knock this one out. I loved We Are the Brennans. It was just such I don't know, like in a weird kind of a way, like a heartwarming story, but it was just the everyday lives of this one family that like owned a pub and, kind of told from different aspects. And I just really, really loved it. So I had passed on this one initially. I think, this was actually offered in the July box, and I had passed on it initially. But then I saw someone in one of the chats, or, in one of the discussion groups say, oh yeah, this is the same author that wrote We Are the Brennans. And I went, oh my gosh, I have to have this. I loved that book. And so I did, even though it was offered in July, I went ahead and picked it up as an add-on in my August box. And so now I'm really, really excited to read it because I enjoyed We Are the Brennans so much last year. That was one of those, like, we went on vacation to Florida and we were there for 8 days, or we were there for 9 days, and I read 8 books. So I was just like reading constantly the whole time that we were there. I loved it so much. The next one is The Bookbinder by Pip Williams, and this is a book about books. We all love books about books, but look, this one, not so skinny. This one I'm sure is over 400 pages. 429, 432. It's 432 pages. So this one is, gonna be a little bit of investment of time, but books about books, I cannot say no. So excited to read this one as well. And so trying to mix in some of those that have been on my TBR for a while, along with some that, that are a little bit newer on the scene. And so in saying that, I had to. I know Ruth Ware is very controversial. Some people really, really love her. Some people don't get the hype. For the most part, I really love Ruth Ware. I think she's really creative. I think she just like kind of weaves the stories really well. There have been a couple that I feel like have kind of jumped the shark, like The Woman in Cabin 10. I didn't love that one. But this one, 0 Days, I've heard so much about this, and I ordered this. This is the Barnes and Noble exclusive edition, and it does include special content. I don't know what that is yet. I don't know if there's something that will like tell us what the exclusive content is. I don't know if that's like an extra chapter or what that is, but I mean, who doesn't love something, special? So anyway, I don't know what this is about. Let's see. This says, Jacintha Jack Cross and her husband Gabe are the best security penetration specialists in the business. Hired by companies to test the strengths and weaknesses of their systems, Jack handles the physical break-ins, while Gabe tackles the digital aspects. They make an excellent team outside of work too. But after a routine assignment goes horribly wrong, Jack arrives home to find her husband dead. To add to her horror, the police are closing in on their only suspect, her. Okay. So this is, I guess they're like a cybersecurity or security company, and they think that she has killed her husband, which, some days I get it. So this is gonna, I'm sure this is gonna be another one of her thrillers that kind of weaves the story, and we'll get a little bit of like, flashback to their past, and then get right back into the story again, So as I said, I really enjoy most of Ruth Ware's work. This one, from what I know, from what I have seen anyway, most folks have enjoyed. Even if they haven't, we all have our own opinions and what makes a good story and what we're willing to buy into. So I'm excited to read this one. So I don't even know how many books we have here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then with the audiobook, that's 10. I can almost guarantee you I'm not going to get through all of these because it's really hard for me to read a ton of physical books, but we're going to try. It helps that most of these are just finishing up ones that are already in progress. So hopefully that will, kind of spur me on forward and help me check off some of these that are in progress. So that is what I am potentially going to be reading for the month. Let me know what you are working on this month as well, whether that is books or whether that is projects around the home. Heaven knows we've got plenty of those too. My mom is coming for the holidays this year, and so we've got to, kind of finish getting the house. We've got lots of little projects that we've started all over. So maybe this will just be finish it fall in every aspect of my life. So let me know what you've got working this fall and what you're looking forward to. Check out my links below for Goodreads, for a Book of the Month referral link. You can follow my Instagram there. And then I also have a Buy Me a Coffee link down below as well if you wanted to support this channel just a little bit, kick in a monetary way as well. I would so appreciate that. I appreciate you, and thanks for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye.